I am so humbled to be on this stage, and so I appreciate Jen Speck for inviting me. I was absolutely gobsmacked when I got the invitation. First, I want to say thank you to the press that are willing to cover the truth about transgenderism. I know it's hard, but there is a lot of press out there that are finally being truthful, so thank you. I also want to say thank you to the detransitioners who trusted me and let me come into their lives and who I can call friend now. So thank you to the detransitioners. They know who they are. Many of them are here today. As a little girl, I was obsessed with Hans Andersen's fairy tale called The Snow Queen. Like most fairy tales, it's about good versus evil. The story goes something like this. A little girl and a little boy lived across from each other. They had a bridge that was covered with beautiful roses. Kai and Gerda were best friends, and they were good, and they were happy. Elsewhere, there was a devil-like troll walking the earth with a magic mirror. That magic mirror reflected nothing but ugliness and distortion. The troll flew up to mock the angels, and the mirror shattered. Billions of shards of glass went flying down to earth. Those shards of glass turned into eyeglasses and windows, and some of them even went into people's eyes and hearts. Kai was one of the unfortunates who got the shard of the mirror in his eye. He became cruel and spiteful. He lashed out at his best friend and rejected all those who he used to love and who loved him. The queen was basking in the evil. But Gerda knew that he was still in there, that Kai still had love. Gerda did not lock herself in her room. She did not cry. She did not give up. She took action. She searches for Kai. She took her most prized possession, her red shoes, and threw them into this magic lake. They washed up against the shore. She was undeterred. She continued. She got into a boat, and she rowed across in the middle of the magic lake, and she dropped her red shoes in again. But it wouldn't be that easy. That lake carried her across to the shore of a sorceress. The sorceress wanted her to forget Kai, so made all of her beautiful roses go underground so she wouldn't remember what her quest was. Gerda cried, and the roses arose again, and Gerda remembered Kai. So she continued her journey. Then she was kidnapped by robbers. The robber's child befriended Gerda and then told her where the palace of the Snow Queen was. Gerda kept moving. Gerda continued alone. A magic woman was asked to help Gerda. But the magic woman said, "Don't you see how strong she is? She cannot receive any more power greater than she has now, which consists of her pure heart. I have nothing more to offer her." Gerda continued on. Gerda finally found Kai. He was with the Snow Queen. She was unafraid and undeterred and ran up to him and gave him a kiss. Kai shed a tear, and out came the glass. The shard of glass got into my daughter's eye when she was in middle school. The school brought in a third party to teach the 11-year-olds that they could all be boys, or the boys could be girls. We saw the pictorial, the gingerbread man or genderbread man. All of her friend group found the list of gender identities so intriguing. They all picked one. No one wanted to be white girl who likes boys, because that was known as the oppressor. My daughter was never uncomfortable in her female body, but the school opened the door to self-created gender dysphoria. Hate your life? Join the trans train. Feeling lonely? The trans community has open arms, but like the Hotel California, you can never leave. My daughter was pre-primed. She was into anime and cosplay because you could escape reality. It was a fantasy world that she was living in. She was bossy, sort of like her mom. She had years of being teased because she had what were called jack-o'-lantern teeth. She was the 1% of young adults that are missing their incisors. She was not in the cool crowd. She had trouble belonging and ended up with many friends whose parents did not engage with their children. These kids could not make eye contact with me. They were miserable, and their parents had no interest in meeting me. They would drop their child off and just speed away. My daughter chopped her long hair, started to wear black, gigantic clothes on her small frame. Gone were the dresses that she had insisted on buying a few years prior. The mirror's poison started to course through her veins. The mirror was strengthened by her phone. That opened her up to pornography, that was carving new jaded pathways in her brain. She met an older teen at an anime convention who went by they, them. This influencer was hip and she was cool. She was also sexually assaulted as when she was a child. She was into hard drugs and mentally unwell. Suicidality and self-harm were her friends. She would even find strangers in the park. She was only 16. Her sorcery entrapped my daughter and many other young girls that followed her on TikTok and Instagram as she did mushrooms and LSD and wore Superman costumes stuffed with Packers. This older influencer taught the young girls to dissociate with their bodies and use the internet to sell sexual pictures to sugar daddies, because after all, they were going to remove those breasts anyway. So why not earn some cash from them and save it up so you can remove them later? Porn sites were shared among these young girls. The most horrifying was hentai. Animation with incest, pregnant boys, young children, rape, bestiality, all done with graphic cartoons to appeal to children. In fact, did you know that you can listen to pornographic stories on YouTube? They can be read to you. This is what the kids were sharing among themselves. Once a young girl puts FTM on her Instagram, female to male, this is a siren. It is a calling card for pedophiles. It shows how vulnerable they are. These girls get inundated with older men reaching out to them to fulfill their fetishes. And by the way, when you pump a female with testosterone, all of their no's turn to yeses. Desensitized girls are easier to lure into adult behavior. The trans identity was marinating in my daughter's mind for a long time before I was invited in. By this time, my daughter was no longer recognizable, not by sight nor personality. She was cruel. The words that she uttered were filled with hatred and anger. She wanted to go to the Snow Queen. She told me how much she hated me. She told me how I was a transphobe, how horrible I was, how I was homophobic. She called me by my first name. This was a tactic to separate us, to no longer be child and mother, She was taught to emancipate. People told her how to run away. All of her pain was thrown onto me. And I realized I needed to be Gerda. I had to keep going. I had to keep fighting because I knew that she was still in there despite all the hatred that was being tossed my way. I knew that somewhere inside that little body of hers, there was still the love that we shared together. And so I took it. I would be lying if I said that there weren't days where I said, I'm done. Okay, go do it. I'm tired of fighting. I give up. Because of course we know this, all along the way, you're on this fight, you parents are doing this alone, essentially alone, because all the doctors are saying, what's the problem? You have a new wonderful son. Why can't you love your new son? All the teachers are calling you the bigot, right? All the teachers are colluding, using a male name behind your back. The institutions are against you. There's no one there. The parent walks this alone. Just like Gerda. We walk it alone until you find people like this in the room, which thank God for you, because I can never thank the people that helped me enough. I really can't. And you probably don't even know who you are. But there were so many other parents that went before me that gave me the strength to keep going and pull my daughter out. So once she got stable, suicide-wise, because this is what a transgender child is. I'm going to give you a new definition. A trans child is a child who hates everything about their body. The way they move, the way they talk, the way they gesture, the hair on their arms, the hair on their toes, their necks. They hate everything, and everyone's telling them, yes, you are wrong, and you should hate all of that. That's a transgender child, with everyone colluding and saying, you are wrong, child. The ultimate body shaming, is it not? And then they tell the child, you're going to commit suicide. Because don't think for 1 second that these children don't hear and understand that they're going to commit suicide, the false narrative. It's all over the internet. My daughter would tell me, it doesn't matter anyway because I'm going to die. Because that's what she was told. She's going to die. And then add to it that she's told that her parents hate her. Imagine the anguish that that child feels. I'm wrong, I'm going to die, and I am unloved. This is a cruel, cruel movement, and it needs to end. So as you can hear, I was told I'm supposed to smile more, but I can't smile. But I got really angry after I was able to pull my child out. I got really angry, and I said I would never not help another human get their child out, and I didn't want any family to ever go through what we went through because it's hell. So I decided I was going to become an advocate. I had no idea what I was doing. I joined every group. Yes, James, I joined all the feminist groups. I joined the religious groups. I joined the parent groups. I joined every group that would have me. Because I wanted to learn, what could I do? I have to do something. I can't just cry. I can't just drink my wine at night and bellyache over this. I have to do something. So I joined Our Duty, which was the group that said, Erin, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, yes, because I don't follow rules. And actually, my husband said to me, what do you think you could do? And I'm like, did you forget who you married? I can do a lot, and I will do a lot. So I do want to talk about one thing that we're doing in California, because it's so important that we kill gender ideology in California. Look, 22 states right now have bans on gender affirmative care, and they're all red states, and I'm so pleased. But California, we are the stain. We are the gift that keeps on giving. Because in California, we have laws that, there's 3. Your child in Florida can come to my state, run away, and get gender interventions in my state. So even though Florida has a ban, those children are not safe. No one's safe until we stop it in California. It's a trans sanctuary state. That means kids can run away, and they want them to run away to our state. They're luring them in. So that's bill number 1. Bill number 2, and they passed, so they're laws, I should say. Law number 2 just passed this year, and that is, hey, doctors, if you are violating the law in Tennessee and cutting little girls' breasts off, and you get caught, why, come on to our golden state, and we will hide you. So it never ends. The law number 3 is, we're spending millions of dollars to advertise to all those red states, all those naughty conservative states who won't perform these barbaric interventions on kids. So we're going to advertise, and we're going to continue to create more gender dysphoric kids. So we've got to stop it in California, and we can. Oddly, we can, even though California's so crazy liberal. The people can do it. We've got a ballot initiative that will stop boys and girls sports. It'll stop the school secrets and the secret transition of children at school. And it will stop gender interventions on children. This is a ballot initiative that is polling between 64 and 75% in California. If you want to know more, go to protectkidsca.com. We need donations. We need money to make this happen. This is a national issue. Imagine for 1 second what would happen if California stops this. That changes not just the United States. It'll change the world. This is huge, so I'm begging you to help. We need funding, and if you live in California, sign up to volunteer, because my God, if we can do it in California, it's game over. It really is game over, so let's do it. Thank you so much.